February 20th, 6 in the morning, Palm Beach. Rico's walking like a little boy that he is, while his mom takes some of the biggest breaths and steps of her life. The sun is just coming up over the water, and the light is hitting the ocean in that special way that only happens for about 4 minutes before it changes into another day. And then right there in the lights of the emerging sun, dolphins playing, just jumping and playing. My eyes teared up and I could not get enough of watching them. It felt destined. It felt like a sign from God to me and that the universe, that I was in the right place doing exactly the right thing. This was not any morning. This was February 20, 2026. The first day Neptune left Pisces since 2011. I'm a 29-degree Pisces. To begin Turquoise Rising on that morning felt like the universe had been planning this longer than I had. I was scared, I was excited, and I was so incredibly proud to be finally acting on a lifelong dream to tell my story and become visible. Good morning. This is day 1 of Turquoise Rising. My name is Kimberly Shahan. I'm a strategic advisor, speaker, writer, fine art photographer, and a gypsy soul who's been to 45 states, drove coast to coast during a pandemic, slept under the stars in national parks, and has never once looked back. Every morning, Rico and I walk the beaches and waterways of Palm Beach, Florida. And for the next 90 days, I'm bringing you with me. Honest, unscripted, from one of the most beautiful places on earth. But before I tell you where I'm going, I need to tell you where I was. For most of my career, life looked like it was working. I worked in growth, sales, and strategy. I understood people very quickly. I read rooms easily. I helped organizations move forward. I produced results, earned trust, won lots of awards, and built a reputation for understanding complex situations fast. I worked hard. I played hard. That was the rhythm. From the outside, I was successful. And I was. I want to be clear. I was genuinely successful. The results were real. The expertise was real. The credibility was real. But underneath all of it, I was a grinder. Emotionally, financially, physically. Even during the periods that I looked most stable, I was building extraordinary things for other people's organizations, and somewhere along the way, I forgot to build something for myself. I kept assuring effort would eventually create stability. Work harder, be better, be helpful, do the right thing. Eventually it would settle. And then one day it didn't. I had accepted what I believed would be a long-term executive role. A line title, beautiful office, everything signaling performance. Within 4 months, the role ended. I was shocked. And I was clear in a way I had never been before. Something in me understood that the pace and the structure I had been living inside could not continue. I remember sitting in my Jeep while they packed my office into boxes. They were kind about it, careful, respectful. One by one, the boxes went into the back of the Jeep and they closed the trunk. And in that exact moment, the thought landed with complete certainty. This will never happen again. Not like this, not this way, not to me. Put my sunglasses on, my hands went to 2 and 10, and I wondered just for that moment who was watching, and then I decided it wasn't important. I drove over the bridge by the Jupiter Lighthouse and thought, I am going to miss some of these views every day. And then I realized how free I really was. Scared, but free. And I took the scenic route home along the ocean, deep breaths the entire way. And I kept wondering if God was doing for me what I could not do for myself. I had faced most of my greatest fears in this life in some capacity. And this was a really big one, to be without a paycheck and without a plan. And somehow I knew the answer would be found by the sea and in the morning light. So here I am, 90 days, live and unfiltered, not after everything is figured out, while it's actively unfolding. Because I believe the most honest stories are the ones told from the middle, not from other side. Or looking back from right here where it's happening. This is day one. If you're ready to stop waiting and start becoming, Rico, my little dog, and I will see you tomorrow. If you're in your reinvention, walk with us. Subscribe below and rise out loud.